Another Tuesday, another online class I missed. Staring at the ceiling, making up a mental list of all the things I should have done by 22. But I'm just trapped inside this fuzzy afternoon. The mesh is dusty, the sky is heavy and gray, just like the thoughts I'm trying to push away. And it's just rain on the window screen, blurring out the world I've never really seen. Sifting through the static, trying to find a groove. Everyone's moving forward, I forgot how to move. Yeah, it's just rain on the window screen. Just a little background noise from my routine. My friends are texting in a group chat I ignored. They're talking about internships and I'm just feeling bored and scared to death of what comes after June. Will I still be hiding in this tiny room? The droplets hit the wire, they split in two. I wonder if I'll ever figure out what to do with all this rain on the window screen, blurring out the world I've never really seen. Sifting through the static, trying to find a groove. Everyone's moving forward, I forgot how to move. Yeah, it's just rain on the window screen. Just a little background noise from my routine. Maybe it's okay to just sit here and rust, to let the future gather a little bit of dust. I don't need the answers by tonight. The pattern on the screen feels almost right. Rain on the window screen. Yeah, let it wash over the screen. The movie ended and the credits started to roll. You looked at your phone, said it's getting late, you should go. But then the thunder shook the floorboards under our feet, and you sat right back down, pulling up your knees. We both knew the buses run all night long, but we pretended the storm was just too strong. Yeah, you stayed for the weather, or that's what we said, sitting 3 inches apart on the edge of my bed. The sky was breaking, but inside it felt so still. We let the heavy rain swallow up our will. You stayed for the weather, and I'm so glad it poured. And I'm so glad it poured. Sharing your headphones, listening to some old slow song, staring at your sneakers, wondering if this is wrong. You asked about my classes, I asked about your job, but we were just talking to stop our hearts from beating too loud. Your shoulder brushed mine, a little accidental touch. Funny how a weather forecast can mean so. You stayed for the weather, oh that's what we said. Sitting 3 inches apart on the edge of my bed. The sky was breaking, but inside it felt so still. We let the heavy rain swallow up our will. You stayed for the weather, and I'm so glad it poured. And I'm so glad it poured. If the sun comes out, will you have to leave? Or can we freeze the clock, make ourselves believe that the clouds are stuck, that the night won't end? Are we something more? Are we just friends? You stayed for the weather. The rain's slowing down now, but don't look at the door. Just stay a little more. Yeah, you stayed for the weather. The sun is hiding, but the room is still glowing white. Everything's blurry in this pale filtered light. I found an old Polaroid slip behind my desk. We were wearing mismatched sweaters, looking like a mess. Your hair was longer then, my smile was less tired. Back when we thought the whole world could be rewired. In this cloudy room under the soft light, I'm replaying everything we did that night. The taste of cheap soda, the records on the floor. I'm staring at the dust motes dancing by the door. We didn't have a plan, we didn't need to try. Just floating away in a faded denim sky. Now you're living in a city 3 time zones away, and we only double tap each other's posts to say, hey, I'm glad you're doing well, but it feels so ghost-like. I miss the teenage drama riding on your bike, the way you'd laugh at nothing until your stomach hurt. Now I'm just washing the last of your scent from my shirt. In this cloudy room under the soft light, I'm replaying everything we did that night. The taste of cheap soda, the records on the floor. I'm staring at the dust motes dancing by the door. We didn't have a plan, we didn't need to try. Just floating away in a faded denim sky. Is it weird that I still keep the text you send? Remembering every single dollar that we spent on things that didn't matter, but they mattered then. Will I ever feel that kind of soft again? Soft light in this cloudy room, just a memory fading out too soon. Yeah, the dust settles down, the light starts to fade, but I'll keep the My phone's been buzzing since 8 a.m. People making brunch plans, I just block them all again. I'm buried under 3 blankets, avoiding the glare of the Sunday sun hitting the back of my chair. I pulled the drawstrings tight around my face. I'm the ghost of this apartment, invisible in this space. Just another Sunday in a gray hoodie, overstretched sleeves and a bit of self-pity. I haven't brushed my hair, I haven't left the bed, just fighting all the static spinning round inside my head. The world is running fast, but I'm on pause today, and this oversized cotton, watching hours slip away. There's a coffee stain from 3 weeks ago, right near the pocket, a little memory in tow from the night we argued about nothing at all. Now I'm just staring at the shadows on the wall. I know I should get up, do the laundry, clean the sink, but it's safer in the fabric where I don't have to think. Just another Sunday in a gray hoodie, overstretched sleeves and a bit of self-pity. I haven't brushed my hair, I haven't left the bed, just fighting all the static spinning round inside my head. The world is running fast, but I'm on pause today, in this oversized cotton, watching hours slip away. Watching hours slip away. Maybe tomorrow I'll face the heavy air. I'll put on real clothes, pretend that I care, but right now the softness is all that I own. A wearable fortress when I'm feeling alone. In my gray hoodie, yeah, just leave me here. It's okay to disappear for just one Sunday. The radiator's humming a low, steady tune. The shadows are long in this quiet afternoon. I've got my favorite record spinning real slow. The lyrics are blurry, but I already know every single word, every gentle mistake. I'm hovering right between asleep and awake. Half asleep at 3 p.m. The world can just wait. There's no emails to answer, no reasons to hate. The sky is a blanket of heavy, soft gray, but for once I don't mind that it's looking this way. Just a tiny pocket of peace in the room, breathing in the slow, sleepy gloom. Foot of the bed, a stray patch of light resting right on her head. I can hear the soft murmur of traffic outside, like a faraway ocean, a comforting tide. Nothing is perfect, my life's still a mess, but right now my chest feels a little less pressed. Half asleep at 3 p.m. The world can just wait. There's no emails to answer, no reasons to hate. The sky is a blanket of heavy, soft be gloom. Sometimes you don't need a big happy end, just a quiet Tuesday. You don't have to defend, no expectations, no mountain to climb, just melting away into vintage time. Half asleep at 3 p.m. Yeah, everything's soft. Let the clock just tick. I'm okay right here. You sighed a little too loud when I changed the song, and suddenly everything felt completely wrong. We walked to the station 3 feet apart, neither of us saying what was in our heart, just staring at our phones, pretending to be blocked by the stupid little things that we both just unlocked. Now my coffee's gone cold again, sitting on the desk just like the afternoon that we made into a mess. I stared at the black ceramic, watching the steam die, wishing I just laughed it off instead of acting dry. It wasn't even a fight, just a stupid chill, but the silence we left is keeping me still. It's keeping me still. You didn't wave back when you got on your train, and I walked home alone through the mizzling rain. I brewed this cup to wash the bitterness out, but it's hard to swallow when I'm filled with doubt. Overanalyzing the look on your face. Did I ruin our week over nothing in first place? Now my coffee's gone cold again, sitting on the desk just like the afternoon that we made into a mess. I stared at the black ceramic, watching the steam die, wishing I just laughed it off instead of acting dry. It wasn't even a fight, just a stupid chill, but the silence we left is keeping me still. A text from you pops up, just a funny meme, like you're trying to wake us from this awkward dream. My fingers freeze up, I don't know what to write. Should I play it cool or apologize tonight? Coffee's gone cold. Yeah, I hate when we do this. Just a stupid chill, typing out a reply. The bench is wet, but the air smells like fresh pine. I put my phone away, stepping out of the line. the first time all week, looking straight ahead, not checking the minutes, just watching instead how the raindrops catch the yellow street lamp flare like thousands of tiny diamonds suspended in the air. The bus never came, and it's a lazy design, but look at the world that was trapped in the line behind the rush, behind the morning screen, the softest portrait that I've ever seen, a golden delay, a slow motion view. I'm perfectly fine with this shade of blue. An old man with a lavender umbrella walked by. He didn't have a rush either, just looking at the sky. A quiet nod, a share of his roof for a beat. Two strangers breathing in the dust of the street. It's funny how a seconds can open the space and put a little patience back into my face. The bus never came, and it's a lazy design, but look at the world that was trapped in the line behind the rush, behind the morning screen, the softest portrait that I've ever seen, a golden delay, a slow motion view. I'm perfectly fine with this shade of blue. No need for the rescue, no need for the ghost. It's the empty minutes that I like the most. The sky isn't falling, it's just coming down to rapid songs around this busy town. The bus never came, and it's a beautiful shade of blue. Just letting it drift, perfectly fine. Brand new canvas, ruined on the first day. The sky just laughed and washed the white away. So I'm standing by a rusted old street lamp post, feeling like a retro cinematic ghost. There's no camera crew, no big Broadway light, but the puddles look like a stage tonight. Now I'm kicking up water in my wet sneakers, humming a classic tune through the open speakers, twirling around the pole, dodging the drops, doing little side steps until the traffic stops. It's a black and white movie in a techno town, and I'm the only one dancing as the rain comes down. People in their raincoats rushing for the door. They don't see the magic on the concrete floor. My socks are heavy, but my heart is floating high, leaping over rivers under a charcoal sky. I tip my wet hood like an old school hat. Yeah, Clara would probably write a song about that. Now I'm kicking up water in my wet sneakers, humming a classic tune through the open speakers, twirling around the pole, dodging the drops, doing little side steps until till the traffic stops. It's a black and white movie in a techno town, and I'm the only one dancing as the rain comes down. No tap shoes, just rubber and wet thread, but I've got 1,000 trumpets playing in my head. Let the fabric stretch, let the colors bleed. This rainy sidewalk is all the theater I need. Wet sneakers, just splashing under the street lamp. Yeah, final curtain. Sunday noon and the group chat is blowing up. Everyone's heading to that new indie coffee cup. But I'm staring at my desk trapped in the weekend grind, trying to force this heavy brain to unwind. I want the laughter, I wanna taste the air, but this mountain of work is keeping me in my chair. So I sent a little text me when it stops raining, okay? Hoping the storm will buy me a few hours of delay. I'm running on caffeine, a weird kind of midday high, watching the gray drops slide down from the sky. It's a terrible excuse to keep myself in the zone, just waiting for the weather to clear up my phone. Is a curtain, a beautiful tactical wall. It makes me feel less guilty for missing the call. You guys are probably sharing stories by now, while I'm calculating my worth, a wrinkle in my brow. I'm too hyper to quit, but too heavy to move, just trapped in the middle of this bittersweet groove. By 5 o'clock, the sky might show a little blue. By 5 o'clock, I might be ready for you. Just hold my spot, don't let the afternoon fade. I'm just a little stuck in the plans that I made. Oh, text me when it stops, yeah, around sunset, baby. Sorry for the delay, I'll be ready soon. The sky spilled its silver on the concrete floor and left 1,000 mirrors by the wooden door. I'm leaning over the edge of the blue, looking at a portrait that is completely new. No footsteps around, no whispers, no sound, just a fragile little kingdom resting on the ground. And I'm watching the puddle reflections spinning so slow, an upside down heaven in a twilight glow. Every drop of water is a tiny glass bead, catching all the starlight that I'll ever need. just a ghost of the girl I were. The pink and the violet are bleeding so deep, like a sleepy kaleidoscope waking from sleep. You can't touch the surface or the magic will break. It's a beautiful promise that the weather can make. The storm had to fall, the canvas had to tear, to leave all these liquid diamonds right there. And I'm watching the puddle reflections spinning so slow, and upside down heaven in a twilight glow. Every drop of water is a tiny glass bead, catching all the starlight that I'll ever need. It's a secret world where the edges blur, and I am just a ghost of the girl I were. The sun is drying the street piece by piece. The quiet is ending, a gentle release. The secret is fading back into the air, but I'll remember the colors we used to share. Puddle reflections melting into the light. The sky is so clear. Goodbye to the mirror. The sky cracked open, heavy and sudden. I'm tucked under this tiny awning, watching the drops. If this were a silver screen, the background score would fade, leaving only the sound of the rainfall we made. The frame would freeze, the camera would pan, and someone would rush in, hiding from the rain. But nothing happened today, nothing at all. Just me and my shadow against the brick wall. No sudden footsteps, no neon sparks flying, just the afternoon slowly, quietly dying. But it's fine, it's alright. The world inside the puddle looked a little more bright. I stare at the empty space right by my side. Enough room for a stranger, or a place to hide. Would we laugh at the weather? Would we look at the ground? A whole scripted romance with no audio sound, just the white noise of water, a beautiful blur, inventing a memory that didn't occur. Down at my feet in the gasoline ring, the upside down blue is doing its thing. Maybe over there in that alternate street, the timing was perfect, two timelines could meet. A hand brushes a shoulder, a cinematic cue, but it's just a cold droplet passing right through. Nothing happened today, nothing at all. Just me and my my shadow against the brick wall. No sudden footsteps, no neon sparks flying, just the afternoon slowly, quietly dying. But it's fine, it's alright. The world inside the puddle looked a little more bright. The rain is getting softer, the illusion is gone. The quiet is moving, just rolling along. Nobody came, but the version of me in the water was smiling anyway. Yeah, nothing happened today. The light drizzle starts, blurring the street. I step under the awning, shaking the cold from my feet. Just a casual stop, a shelter from the gray. I buy a warm can of coffee to pass the time away. Through the clear glass window, the white lights glow. And there she is, moving steady and slow. Under the convenience store light, she looks so bright, like a star trapped in a plastic night. She's just doing her job, checking the screen while I'm standing outside of her quiet scene. She doesn't know my name, I'm just a face in the rain, a nameless extra on a window pane. I take a slow sip, keeping it cool, hoping I don't look like a nervous fool. When I paid at the register a minute ago, my voice was too quiet, my reflection too low. She gave me my change with a polite little pass, and now there's a universe made out of glass. Like a boy from a story who lost his own name, standing in the shadows of a beautiful game. I wish I could tell her something that matters before the coffee goes cold and the illusion shatters. But she keeps on shining, so close yet so far, holding the world together behind the counter bar. Under the convenience store light, she looks so bright, like a star trapped in a plastic night. She's just doing her job, checking the screen while I'm standing outside of her quiet scene. She doesn't know my name, I'm just a face in the rain, a nameless extra on a window pane. The can is empty now, the rain is almost gone. The late night shift is just rolling on. She doesn't look up, and that's alright. I'll just leave my heart under the white light. Yeah, just a face in the rain. Good night, my secret star. been sitting on the shelf since you left the room. Your old plastic radio covered in twilight gloom. I turned it on to block out the gray afternoon, but the signal is bleeding, chasing away the tune. Just a heavy buzzing, scratching at my ears, like the ghost of us talking through all of these years. Static from your old radio, blurring the air. The dial is spinning, but there's nobody there. It's louder than the downpour, thicker than the smoke. A tired old record, a premise that broke. So I turn it off, click into the deep, and let the cold silence put the static to sleep. With the music gone, the room settles down. Just the steady rhythm of the rain hitting the town. And in that quiet water, your voice starts to play, crisp and so clear from a sunnier day. We were dancing in the kitchen, spilling our tea. You were laughing at the weather, laughing with me. The memory is pretty too sharp around the edge. It sits like a raindrop balanced on the ledge. The static in the speaker was easier to bear than this perfect phantom standing in the air. Now the clouds outside are moving into my chest, flooding the places where you used to rest. Static from your old radio, blurring the air. The dial is spinning, but there's nobody there. It's louder than the downpour, thicker than the smoke. A broken frequency, a promise that broke. So I turn it off, click into the deep, and let the cold silence put the static to sleep. The room is so dark now, the floorboards are cold. Just a girl and a shadow that she used to hold. No happy ending, no sudden clearing of the sky. Just the sound of the rainfall asking me why. The radio is quiet, and my heart is just dripping wet through and through. Yeah, still thinking of you. The sky is a heavy curtain blending into gray, but I'm holding a soft bloom to carry me away. A soft click, a quiet unfold, a dome of pale purple shutting out the cold. The concrete lines are softening in the mist. By a lavender shadow, everything is kissed. Walking through a lavender field, right in the middle of town, spinning my lavender umbrella. drizzle is swimming everywhere. It's a pastel daydream floating so high. I think I'm falling for this watery sky. Looking up through the fabric, such a healing hue, filtering the monochrome, making the daylight new. A drop hits the center, a crystal bead on line, creating a rhythm that is yours and mine. No need to rush, no need to run. Under this purple silk, the quiet has begun. Just a girl in her pale purple sky, watching the ordinary world gently float by. No longer looking for where the clouds might end. I found a texture that I want to befriend. The wet intersections, the whispers in the trees, they all turn to ribbons drifting in the breeze. Walking through a lavender field right in the middle of town, spinning my lavender umbrella while the sky is coming down. Every puddle is a flower blooming in the quiet air. The perfume of the drizzle is swimming everywhere. It's a pastel daydream floating so high. I think I'm falling for this watery sky. Lavender shadows drifting on the stone, a beautiful dimension entirely my own. Just spinning, spinning under my purple dome, in the misty haze. Yeah, the rain can stay. The wiper blades are making a lazy sound, wiping the mist from a town I haven't found. Pressed my forehead to the cold glass pane, watching the dusk swallow up the rain. Boxes piled high in the trunk behind, a quiet drift in the back of my mind. Looking out from the backseat, staring so wide at the endless fields on the outside. The green and the gray shifting their gear under a twilight so steady and clear. A little boy in a faded shirt floating through space, just watching the shadows change the face of the place. Power lines are dipping along loose thread, connecting the hills to the sky overhead. An unfamiliar highway, a quiet green sea. The world was so big and so was the memory. No cinematic goodbyes, no dramatic design, just the orange turning dark on the horizon line. Muffled murmurs up front, blending into the dash like the soft white noise of a radio flash. I wasn't counting the miles or where we'd arrive, just a passenger letting the scenery drive. In that suspended second between old and new, a static snapshot of a world passing through. Looking out from the backseat, staring so wide at the endless fields on the outside. The green and the gray shifting their gear under a twilight so steady and clear. A little boy in a faded shirt floating through space, just watching the shadows change the face of the place. The headlights of the cars behind start to blink as the country roads slowly begin to sink, just rolling along. the view. Yeah, just watching it fade. School bell rings, dropping my heavy bag. The afternoon shadow is beginning to lag. We always meet up at the top of the hill, sitting on the grass, keeping it still, waiting for the sky to do its usual glow, watching the tiny cars down below. Then the clouds rolled in, the sudden surprise, big heavy drops right in front of our eyes. Grab the handlebars, pedal down the slope, laughing in the shower, losing all hope, scattering like birds in the messy shade. A quick goodbye as the colors fade. Unlocked my front door, shaking off my hair. Looked out the window, but the rain wasn't there. Just a wet pavement under a clearing sky. It stopped so fast, I didn't even try. Sitting on my bed, tapping on the screen, sending out a message to the usual scene. Hey, look outside, it's already dry. We ran for nothing under that sky. The blue bubble pops, a reply comes through, a laughing emoji, a yeah, me too. No big philosophy, nothing to learn, just another page of the calendar turn. And the clouds rolled in, a sudden surprise, big heavy drops right in front of our eyes. Grab the handlebars, pedal down the slope, laughing in the shower, losing all hope, scattering like birds in the messy shade. A quick goodbye as the colors fade. We missed the sunset, I text with a smile, throwing my phone on the desk for a while. Just a regular Tuesday, running from the gray. Yeah, we missed the sunset today, but that's okay. You're sitting right across, but you feel so far, staring at the reflection on your cold coffee jar. Outside the window, the drizzle is a veil, a soft gray screen making the afternoon pale. A quiet static falling right between our eyes. We could still speak, but we're holding our goodbyes. The rain is whispering lower than we do tonight, filling the spaces where we used to be light. Nobody moves, nobody wants to start the break. We're just watching the puddle that our silence makes. No sweet memories left to pull us through, just a soft anxiety hovering over me and you. I try to remember the sun on your face, quiet dew keeps dragging the afternoon down. We are holding our breath in a drifting boat with too many unspoken words left afloat. If I reach for your hand, will it welcome the touch? We are so close to the edge, but we want it too much. The mist isn't passing, it's settling in to the quietest places under my skin. The rain is whispering lower than we do tonight, filling the spaces where we used to be light. Nobody moves, nobody wants to start the break. We're just watching the puddle that our silence makes. No sweet memories left to pull us through, just a soft anxiety hovering over me and you. A gentle tap on the window, the air is too tight. We'll just stay like this till the edge of the night. One little word could break the whole spell, but we're just listening to the water that fell, still drizzling between us, and nobody says a thing.
"3 a.m. The rain is tapping a gentle beat on the window pane, looking out at the empty street. Everyone's asleep, the world is painted in blue, except for that one square window cutting right through. A warm yellow glow in the middle of the dark, leaving a strange tiny question mark. The light across the street is turning on again at the weirdest hours, defying the rain. Are they writing a novel or just washing a cup, waiting for someone, or just giving up? Two different worlds divided by the gray, just a passing thought before it slips away. Well, it doesn't really matter anyway. My own room is messy, the daylight is a blurry line, just another repetitive loop of my ordinary time. But I look at that glass suspended so high, a stranger's little planet under the watery sky. Maybe they're staring at my window too, wondering what a restless boy is trying to do. It's a quiet amusement, a harmless little game, connecting two shadows that don't know a name. The harmonies of the drizzle, the hum of the floor, I don't need to meet them, I don't need any more. Just the comfort of knowing in the damp midnight air that a completely different life is breathing over there. The light across the street is turning on again at the weirdest hours, defying the rain. Are they writing a novel or just washing a cup, waiting for someone, or just giving up? anyway. A sudden click and the yellow turns to black, bringing the ordinary stillness right back. Just a tiny spark in a world so plain, and it's just me and the sound of the rain. Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway.
I'm just killing time, leaning by the distant wall, watching the slow afternoon shadows crawl across the room. She's sitting with a friend, sharing a dull moment that never seems to end. Nothing special happening, no dramatic grace, just the slow casual rhythm of the place. But her quiet smile is like a sun shower in May, a tiny drop of rain on a bright sunny day. So ordinary, but it feels so clear. A gentle little softness, even from just a lazy boy, keeping to the shade, watching the light in her eyes slowly fade. She turns her head, nodding to a word they speak. A completely normal afternoon, a regular week. No big mysteries, no secrets to unfold. Just a normal girl in a world so cold. But when she laughs low, keeping it small, a beautiful stillness settles over it all. Is it raining or is it bright? She's a mixture of the shadow and the light. I don't need to talk, I don't need to sign. I'm just glad her regular day is in the same line. Just a peaceful second, completely unarranged, where nothing at all really needs to be changed. But her quiet smile is like a sun shower in May, a tiny drop of rain on a bright sunny day. So ordinary, but it feels so clear. A gentle little softness, even from nowhere near. I'm just a lazy
missed the last train, standing on the street. The cold midnight rain is splashing at my feet. No cinematic kiss, no numbers in my hand. It just ended right there, exactly as it's planned. But checking my watch under the yellow light, I'm thinking, yeah, that was a pretty good night. We talked about nothing for an hour or two, drinking cheap gin till the thoughts came through. I'm usually the guy who keeps his mouth tight, but the alcohol made the heavy things light. Just two shadows leaning on a crowded wall, sharing a second that meant nothing at all. The club is closing down, the people walk away into the foggy edge of the coming day. I could have left early, I could have been in bed, but I chose to stay for the words she said. No big promises, no future in view, just a transient spark passing through. Now I miss the last train, standing on the street. The cold midnight rain is splashing at my feet. No cinematic kiss, no numbers in my hand. It just ended right there, exactly as it's planned. But checking my watch under the yellow light, I'm thinking, yeah, that was a pretty good night. Walking back home, the sidewalks so wet, a peaceful kind of feeling that I won't forget. No train to catch, just walking slow. Yeah, a pretty good night, letting it go. Letting it go. Past 8 p.m., staring at the glowing screen, stuck in the middle of a heavy routine. Everyone's sighing under the fluorescent light. So I said, I'll get coffee, I'll be back tonight. Stepped out for a breather, needed to clear my mind, leaving the messy desk and the papers behind. But I walked out the door and the drizzle started to fall. Got 4 hot lattes, but no extra hands at all. Can't open my umbrella, what a ridiculous view. What am I doing? I laughed under the blue, but the cool wet drops on my face feels so nice. The city sounds softer tonight, clearing out the ice. My hair is all damp, my shoulders are getting soaked, but the foggy exhaustion in my head just broke. The rain washed away the stress of the day, making me feel ready to push the fatigue away. Clutching the warm cardboard, walking back slow, watching the reflections reflections of the street lights glow. I push the office door open with my elbow grease dripping like a puppy breaking the peace. Everyone turned around, eyes open wide at the wet little storm that just came inside. Then someone started laughing and the smiles caught fire. Oh dear, what are you doing? Raising the spirits higher. Yeah, I walked out the door and the drizzle started to fall. Got 4 hot lattes, but no extra hands at all. Can't open my umbrella, what a ridiculous view. What am I doing? I laughed under the blue, but the cool wet drops on my face feel so nice. The city sounds softer tonight, clearing out the ice, handing out the warm cup, shaking off the rain. Now the energy is back in our veins again. Let's finish up this work, let's pack it all away. We're gonna head home at the end of the day. Yeah, the city sounds softer tonight. Alright, let's do this.
A sudden black screen, the battery is dead and gone. No red light blinking, no screen to stare upon. I reach for the outlet, searching on the bedroom floor. Oh right, I forgot, my sister borrowed it before. She took the white cord, left me with a useless wire. And now the digital world has lost its tiny fire. Now it's just me and my midnight rain diary. No scrolling through the noise, no temporary harmony. Just the soft tap of water on the roof outside, and all the little thoughts I usually try to hide. It's kind of inconvenient, kind of incomplete, but the silence in my room feels so sweet. Usually I'm double tapping pictures on the bed, letting other people's lives clutter up my head. But tonight the analog notebook is waiting on my knees, with a blue ink pen and a quiet midnight breeze. No notifications, no phantom buzz in my hand, just a slow drifting piece that I didn't plan. My sister's probably sleeping with my charger in her wall, while I'm sitting here disconnected from it all. The rain is a curtain shutting out the crazy town, turning the volume of my heavy heart way down. I don't need to answer, I don't need to know what the rest of the world is trying to show. Now it's just me and my midnight rain diary. No scrolling through the noise, no temporary harmony. Just the soft tap of water on the roof outside, and all the little thoughts I usually try to hide. It's kind of inconvenient, kind of incomplete, but the silence in my room feels so sweet. Writing down a line about out the dark and the gray, washing the digital dust of the day away. My phone is asleep, and I am getting drowsy too. Just me, the ink in the rain through. Good night to the screen. I used to hate the way the gray sky looked at dawn, washing the colors out, making the daylight yawn. Stepping into puddles, ruining my favorite shoes. Just another gloomy reason for the rainy day blues. But tonight the water on the asphalt starts to gleam, and the reflection of the neon feels like a half-remembered dream. And I think I like rain now, hanging in the air, a slow-motion galaxy floating everywhere. It's not a liquid sorrow, it's not a heavy ceiling, it's just a gentle envelope for this sentimental feeling. The drops are falling softly, whispering so clear. I think I like the rain now, because it brought me here. The cold mist is biting, but my heart is breathing slow. Watching the headlights in the dark come and go. Every little droplet holds a picture of the town, turning all the static noise completely down. If the sun came out tomorrow, I might miss the shade and the quiet little sanctuary that the drizzle made. It's a strange confession for a boy like me, who always wanted blue skies as far as I could see. But the harmonies of water hitting on the stone make me feel so peaceful even when I'm all alone. The world is getting blurry, the edges start to melt. It's the most beautiful loneliness I have ever felt. And I think I like rain now, hanging in the air, a slow motion galaxy floating everywhere. It's not a liquid sorrow, it's not a heavy ceiling, it's just a gentle envelope for this sentimental feeling. The drops are falling softly, whispering so clear. I think I like the rain now, because it brought me here. Just let the droplets fall on my open face, a slow drifting rhythm in a crowded space. I think I like rain. Yeah, I really do. Under the cosmic sky, just melody. turned off the stereo, but the record's away. No need for the guitars or the words people say. I walk to the glass, unlock the little latch, and let the mid-low temperature and the darkness match, leaving the window open just a couple of inches wide to welcome the outside world inside. I'm just listening to the rhythm of the rain tonight. No screen, no music, no artificial light. The raindrops are playing a steady hypnotic beat on the rusty old roof and the cobblestone street. I don't need a thing, I don't need a sound, just the music of the water coming down. The curtains are swaying in the cool damp breeze, carrying the smell of the wet soil and trees. Every single tap is a note in the dark, a minimal symphony leaving its mark. I close my tired eyes, letting my thoughts unbend, content with a night that has nothing to defend. No plans for tomorrow, no regrets for the past, just this beautiful second. I don't need it to last. The world is asleep, but the sky stays awake, drumming a soft lullaby for my own sake. Nothing to prove, nothing to buy, just a boy and the weather under the sky. I'm just listening to the rhythm of the rain tonight. No screen, no music, no artificial lights. The raindrops are playing a steady hypnotic beat on the rusty old roof and the cobblestone streets. I don't need a thing, I don't need a sound, just the music of the water coming down. Just let the window stay open wide, letting the cool air slide. The rhythm keeps going, softly, slow. I don't need anything else, just the rain flow. I can smell the sunrise waiting in the humid air, a faint silver lining showing up from everywhere. The clouds are getting tired, ready to pack and go, but there's no need to rush the morning, let the tempo stay slow. The midnight blue is turning into a subtle shade of gray, a gentle transition at the very end of the day. And yeah, tomorrow looks brighter, the sky's gonna clear, but I'm still holding on to the damp atmosphere. Let's drink up the puddle lights, enjoy the steady drops before the rhythm of the weeping weather finally stops. It's
mature kind of you, loving the shadows before we jump into the blue. They say the sun is a cure, a brand new golden star. But the rainy day was a sanctuary for my heavy heart. I didn't waste a minute staring at the glass, watching the world's anxiety slowly fade and pass. So I'll keep my jacket damp just a little longer now, savoring the quiet that the weather would allow. Every storm has an exit, every dark night has a door. We all know the sunshine is what we're waiting for. But tonight I am grateful for the mud upon my shoes, for the melancholy beauty that I didn't want to lose. The glitter on the wet leaves, the city's softer tone. It was the sweetest season I have ever known. And yeah, tomorrow looks brighter, the sky's gonna clear, but I'm still holding on to the damp atmosphere. Let's drink up the puddle lights, enjoy the steady drops before the rhythm of the weeping weather finally stops. It's a beautiful ending, it's a mature kind of you, loving the shadows before we jump into the blue. The first ray of morning is catching on the pain. Goodbye to the sadness, thank you to the rain. Tomorrow is brighter, but today was just right. Yeah, fading into the light.